Hello, friends. Welcome to Warrior Wednesday. If we haven't met yet, my name is Zena Solomon, and I'm super excited to be hosting Warrior Wednesdays for the month of October. So, for the next couple more weeks, we will be hosting weekly Facebook Lives, and I'm here to support you in creating a life by design versus living a life by default. And I'm also here to help you reinvent yourself so you can really step into your vision, your values, and have a life of passion, purpose, and awesomeness, pretty much. That's really where I want you to go. So today we are covering distractions. And I get a lot of questions from my clients about, oh, I get so distracted. There's so many things happening in the day. Can you relate? If you can relate, give me some hearts so I know if you're on here live. I want to connect with you and also see you as well. Hey, Randy, how are you? Good to see you, hon. So if you're in the space of getting distractions or being distracted and you want to be in the space of being productive, I have 3 simple tips for you that will really support you. They're very simple and they're also very, very effective. So before we even go into that, what I want to share is that, first of all, we all have distractions. We live in the information age, and thanks to technology with buzzes and everything, we get distracted relatively quickly, right? And so there are a couple of distractions that I want to create and distinguish for you. You have internal distractions and you also have external distractions. So the internal distractions are those voices in your head, like your thoughts, those conversations. You're either thinking about things that happened in the past or you're thinking too far ahead in the future about your to-do list or whatever that looks like. So those are internal distractions. The external distractions are like technology. It could be your phone, it could be people around you, it could be anything that is externally, which is really, really outside of you. So those are these distractions. So going into the 3 tips that will make the most difference for you is the first tip is integrating what is called the ABC technique. Okay, so ABC, A stands for awareness, B stands for breathing, and C stands for choosing. And I'm going to go into each and every one of these so you guys have some perspective. Okay, so ABC, number 1 is awareness. So recognizing, awareness is really recognizing. It is being aware that you are being distracted. So really being aware, like taking a moment. And I love the awareness piece because in order for you to shift, you get to be aware of what you want to shift. So if you're not aware that you're being distracted, you're not going to shift anything because you're not aware, right? And so that's always going to be the first step, is the awareness piece. So being aware of the distraction, recognizing it. And then number 2, breathing. And breathing, really what breathing does is when you take a deep inhale and an exhale, and I'm just demonstrating it for you, what it does is the neurons that fire together, it resets the neurons in your head, and it really puts you in a really calm space so that you are very, very present and you're in the moment. So when you're breathing and you're aware of your breath, you're actually present. You're totally 100% aware. You're aware of what's going on. So that's the breathing piece, and really reflecting on your options of the distraction. So now that you're aware of the distraction, you're reflecting on the awareness of it, right? So you want to reflect on it. Number 3, the third part of the ABC, is to choose. So now that you're aware and now you've paused and you've become present to what's going on, now you get to choose mindfully how you want to address it. So how do you want to move forward with the distraction? Do you want to dismiss it? Do you want to play with it? What do you want to do with it now that you're aware? Okay, it gives you that opportunity to jump in and really create that for yourself. Okay, so, and you also want to be in the space of creating an environment that does not have distractions. So if you're working on a really important project and you want to be super productive, and your phone keeps buzzing every 2 seconds or whatever, put it on airplane mode. I put my phone on airplane mode. When I'm focused on a specific activity, and I just eliminate distractions because it's just so easy to get pulled in so many different directions. Have you ever been pulled in so many different directions? Can you relate? Say hi or say I in the comments so I can see you. I totally get it. I've been there myself. Okay, so the second tip is to refrain from multitasking. And I know there's a lot of controversy around multitasking, and here's my take on multitasking. When you multitask, you actually are not present because you're doing too many things at the same time, and you're most likely not going to do your best in everything that you're multitasking in. So ideally, what you want to create is you want to identify your top 2 or 3 tasks or activities that you want to complete for the day. Not like have a list of 10 things. No, narrow it down to your top 2 or 3 and then focus on each one of those tasks at a time and get them done. Otherwise, you're going to be just too all over the place, and you're not gonna get anything done if you're in that space. Because I've multitasked, and it's like here's what happens when you multitask, okay? And perhaps you can relate. You do too many things at the same time. You got into busy energy, but you got nothing done. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel me? If you do, like, give me some love so I know you're alive. And I hope this is working because I'm not getting a whole lot of interaction, but I think you guys get the point. So that's really what you get to do, is to focus on your top 2 or 3. Yeah, I'm seeing some hearts. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. Yay. All right. So so focus on your top 2 to 3 activities and get them done. That's essentially what you get to do. Okay, so in tip number 3 is you want to give your brain a break. Hey, Kristen, great to see you, love. So give your brain a break. And here's what I mean by that. Schedule yourself when you work in 60 to 90 minute blocks. And every 60 to 90 minutes, give yourself a 10 or 15 minute break. And here's what I mean by that. So when you're focused and you're concentrating and you're in that energy of being in the work that you're creating, you're giving 60 minutes, which is an hour, or 90 minutes in this activity. And then at the end of that hour, you're giving yourself a complete mental break where you're giving yourself time to really decompress. Like, a break is not checking your text messages or, responding to other messages. That's not a break. A break means you go out for a walk, you do not look at technology, you meditate, you dance, play some music and dance, stretch, do whatever you need to do that will inspire you to move on into that next 60 to 90 minute block. Okay, so those are your 3 tips. So I'm going to quickly go through these 3 tips, and I actually have a bonus tip for you. By the way, these are my top 3. There are multiple tips on how to be focused, create productivity, and reduce distraction. And those are my top 3 that are, like I said, effective and simple. But there are so many other tips. I'm just giving you what really works, and because my intention is for you to get the results that you want to create. Okay, so again, tip number 1 is integrating the ABC technique, which is awareness, breathing, and choosing, and we covered that. Tip number 2 is to refrain from multitasking and only choosing your top 2 to 3 priorities that you get to complete by the end of the day. And setting an intention the night before is what I would recommend. I do that. I set an intention the night before on my top 2 or 3 activities that I'm committed to creating for the next day, so that keeps me focused on what I'm creating. And then tip number 3 is giving your brain a breather and giving yourself the opportunity to chillax and to do the work, work 100% and play 100%. So 60, 90 minute block working, 10, 15 minute break, chilling out, having fun, doing whatever you need to do. Okay, so those are your top 3 tips. The bonus tip is giving yourself, rewarding yourself, and incentivizing yourself, and also celebrating what you completed. So give yourself an incentive or a prize by the end of completing any task or activity that you're committed to completing, and that will get you in the energy of like, oh my God, when I do this, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm a very competitive person, and I'm sure most of you are driven, you're competitive, you want to get stuff done. So incentivize yourself, give yourself a reward, and then celebrate by the end of you completing your task. So that's the bonus tip. And the mission for you to complete is to pick one of the 3 tips and implement it. Okay, and I'm saying one because I want it to be really simple. So pick the one that will make the most difference for you and implement it and see how you feel, see what shifts, and comment below, circle back, comment, and let me know what opens up for you. So I hope you enjoyed this message. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to comment, share, tag someone who gets to hear this message. And I hope this was valuable, and I'll see you next Wednesday for Warrior Wednesday. Bye for now.